Hello everybody, my name is Steve Wagner. I am one of the co-chairs of the Weston Historical Commission, and I'm standing now in Central Cemetery, which is on the corner of Linwood Avenue and Boston Post Road. We're here to give you a look into what we've been doing. In 2007, the Historical Commission had a facilities assessment report done on two of the oldest cemeteries in Weston. That would be the Farmers Burying Ground and here at Central Cemetery. And we came up with a whole list of things that needed to be done to repair and restore and conserve these two important burying grounds in Weston. In 2013, we asked the CPA for some funding to do the first phase of the project, which was a request for $125,000, and that addressed most of the conservation work of the markers in Farmers Burying Ground. Farmers is the oldest cemetery in Weston. The first burial there was in 1702. Through years of, I wouldn't say neglect, just through years of the environment and different reasons, the cemetery had fallen into some disrepair and needed to be fixed. Working through the DPW in Weston, we accomplished that first phase of the project, and then in 2017 we made another request to the CPA and through town meeting, and $205,000 was approved for restoration conservation work here at Central Cemetery. So we're here today to work with, or to observe the work of our contractor, Mike Gallagher, and to hear from the town's consultant on the project, Ivan Major, and they're going to reset one of the stones that had been fallen and broken here at Central Cemetery. I might mention that at the completion of this work, we are going to have another request through the CPA. Hopefully they will approve approximately $200,000, and that will finish the work at these two burying grounds. And that work would involve resetting some of the stone walls, repairing some of the beautiful iron gates at the entrances to these cemeteries. And there's an old tomb that has basically started to fall in that needs to be repaired. So we're going to make those repairs. And at the end of the day, we'll have two important burying grounds, which are really right in the center of Weston, that will be here for everybody to walk through and enjoy and take a glimpse at your past. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ivan Major with Building and Monument Conservation, and I have been the town of Weston's preservation consultant for work going on here at Central Cemetery, and previous to that at the Farmers Cemetery, just on the other side of town. This is the second oldest cemetery in town, and this is the second project that I've been involved with. There was an assessment some years earlier, actually a series of assessments for all of the cemeteries in town, and I've been working from the assessments done by others. My job has been to apply specific tasks to each type of stone that needs to be repaired. The stones in the cemetery are a mixture of slates, which is the older form, and marble. Marbles were introduced usually somewhere at the very beginning of the 19th century. So marble comes from Vermont primarily. The slates come from eastern Massachusetts, and there was a large quarry in Harvard, Massachusetts, where many of the stones in this cemetery come from. So the program here has been to reset markers which are falling or have fallen over or are leaning, and also to repair markers which are broken. Markers break in a variety of ways. Sometimes they just fall over on their own because of the ground. Other times tree roots push them out of plumb and they eventually fall over. Sometimes tree limbs fall and in storms, and the markers are broken. Fixing the markers involves reassembling the pieces and filling the areas of loss and we try very hard to match the color and the texture of the stone that we're working with. Here in the cemetery there are also marble markers that sit in the ground, and then there are monuments and multi-part markers that are taller and more upright, and they have a different set of problems. Some of those have pins in them, and the pins are made of steel, and the steel corrodes and rusts and cracks the stone. That's similar to what you can see going on over here. There's actually a rust stain on the marble here caused by a pin. which rusted. By and large, the work is done by hand. We purposely do not clean all the markers to remove all of the biological growths and films on the markers. We clean them just sufficient enough to see what the problems are and to make the repairs. It doesn't seem worth it to put a lot of time, energy, and money into cleaning gravestones because the biological growths will simply return. There are lichens and algae that grow on the surface, and different types of stones have different types of growths on them. So you can see that some of the markers are cleaner than they were before we began, but they're not bright white.
Hi, my name is Mike Gallagher. I'm the contractor restoring the headstones here at Farmers and Central Cemetery in Weston. We're restoring approximately 250 headstones, marble, slate, from relatively small ones to very large ones. There's some over there. And today we're going to do a resetting of a marble monument. It's a two-part monument with a granite base. So this is a marble monument typical of the time period. Like a lot of these monuments, it was set with an iron pin, and when the iron gets exposed to water, it eventually rusts and expands and sort of blows out and deforms the stone down at the bottom. Then it tips over and it breaks. So this one was in 3 pieces. We put it all back together using stainless steel and specialty stone epoxies. Now we'll reset it, and then we will point it and do patching infills anywhere where there's been loss of the marble. Okay. Okay. Hold on 1 second. All right. You done?
Yep.
All right.